it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and I'm back with another video of my colouring book collection. As some of you know, we're packing up to move house at the moment, so what I'm doing is just keeping up to date with my collection videos so that I can scan all of these into my app to keep track of what books I've got. So this one is Ruby's Sweet Dreamers by Inko Kotoriyama, and she does a number of colouring books, Disney ones, Happy Birthday, so many. She's such a talent. So this is a Japanese colouring book. So if you haven't seen the full flip through of any of these, I'll just show you a few pages and you can look at the link below the video for the full flip through and details on where to buy. This is Benny Rabbit's colouring book, and I bought this for myself for my birthday last year. It's a Korean colouring book, and as you know, I just love bunny rabbits, and I'm sad I haven't actually coloured in it yet. It's a hardback book, and it's full of simple little pictures of cute little bunny rabbits and friends, and I think it's just adorable. So you can see that full flip through below. It's a gorgeous little Korean book. Now these aren't in any particular order, I'm just taking them off the shelf, and the shelf has got rearranged. Used to be in all order of artist, etc., but it's all over the shop at the moment. This is The Flower Year by Lytle. It's her second colouring book. The first one, Floribunda. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this one's smaller, and I think it's actually sort of less intimidating than Floribunda. So lots of gorgeous flowers there. So, and all through the month. So if you want to practice flowers, it's certainly a great one. And it's hardback as well. It's got this lovely little ribbon there to keep your pages. Now this one's part of a series of Korean colouring books by the same artist. And I always get the names mixed up. I think this one is The Flower Goddesses, but there's 3 in the series, Art Trips with Muse, Flower Goddesses, and the name just escapes me on the other one. What's interesting, this is Loving Lifestyle of Venus, I think. What's great about these books is that unusually they're on single pages rather than the double page storybook format. Now this artist has produced numerous colouring books like Secretly and Happily. So you would have seen some of their other books, but this particular one is part of a 3-part series, and they've all got a similar cover on them, and it's a lovely Korean book. So this one's by one of my favourite artists, Emily Lytle Oberg, Sagor och Sagner. Now, I do hope they release an English edition of this book, but as yet they only seem to have done one of her books in an English imprint. So the reason that I would like to see an English imprint is because I get emails every week from people wanting to buy my book, because this seems to be out of stock or hard to get, and people seem to think I just have a stash of them in the corner, which I don't. I only have one, and when I bought this, I really had to stretch the money because the shipping from Sweden is just so expensive, and especially if you're on a tight colouring budget, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So if you can get your hands on one, grab it, because it is a tad hard to get. And of course, lovely hardback with gold foiling. Now this one's super cute. It's the Charlie Brown Christmas wrapping paper and activity book. And what it is these little posters that you can colour in and use as wrapping paper if you're kind enough to do that. Or you could just colour them in and have them as posters. So you can see my full fold out on that one on the channel. It comes with like little activities, like little advent calendar that you can use, and it really is a lovely little set. It's a really nice idea as well. Really like that one. So something for the fans of Charlie Brown, and that's what that poster would look like coloured, or sheet of wrapping paper. There's 4 sheets of wrapping paper to colour in, and some activities, etc. Now this is a giant colouring book in size wise compared to a more standard size. Is a little bit bigger. My seam's bigger. and illustrated by Charles Santori. But it's really thin, not many pages in it, and they've always gives me confidence I might finish something. And in a very illustrative, hand-drawn, sketchy style. These look stunning coloured. So if you're looking for something, you know, in the classics or the fairy tale themes, check out some of Charles's colouring books. They really are beautiful. And when you see these coloured, they're just fabulous. Now, these are two from Japan, and every time I look at Amazon Japan, I used to see these come up, and I'd think, a bit cheaper than the other colouring books, must be something wrong with it. So I took the plunge one day and I bought the Alice in Wonderland one, and what a silly Billy I was for not buying them earlier, because they're all printed on a medium quality paper, which is lovely paper. It's medium to heavy, perforated pages. But what's super special are all these coloured images that are in it. So you can get true inspiration for the pictures that you want to colour inside. That's a soft cover. So many different characters and whatnot that you can get these books in. You can get them in things like Bambi, Winnie the Pooh, all different sorts. So if you don't like these ones, there's certainly others in that series that you might like a upscale Japanese creative haven. So this is Eriy's Tracing Around the World, and as most people know, I love Eriy. This one, I don't know. Oh, it looks like I've put it in upside down. I do like it. It's a round the world theme. But, you know, when you give us something like Romantic Country in a 3-set series, it's kind of hard to fall in love with anything else it departs from that. So this one, as you can see from the line art, it's super faint, and the idea is that you trace around the lines and then colour the pictures in. So it's really hard to see the lines, so not one for those that are visually impaired. But look, when you do see these coloured in, it does look absolutely fabulous. And I do love her artwork, and I guess, you know, not everything can be Romantic Country. This is Alice Little Wonderland, and of course, you know, anything with Alice in the title is always a big selling point for me. So I love my Alice in Wonderland. So it's a simple little book, but it's got some great little images there, and they are super cute. And of course, you know, little hedgehogs and a very cute looking Alice in Wonderland. It's a lovely book, and it's got this lovely little fold out flap. So of course, a Korean Alice in Wonderland colouring book. So some patterns. Look at these rabbits, aren't they beautiful? Look at that texture on the mushrooms. Beautiful looking Alice in Wonderland. I love all these variations of Alice. So gorgeous little Korean colouring book, Remember Alice. And the links and full reviews are below the video. They've all been reviewed. So this is a Japanese colouring book. I can't remember the exact name for it, but it is super cute. And another Japanese colouring book in the same series. And look at those bunnies. I just opened the page and it landed on Bunny Love. So again, super cute little animals doing human-y type things. Lots of gorgeous pictures. And they're not complicated designs, but they look so pretty when they're coloured in, honestly. Very, very gorgeous. And this one is another Japanese colouring book. And I've seen this in store, you know, back in, I don't know, was it 2015, 2016? And I never liked it, you know, and I thought, you know, I wasn't really a fan. And then I sent a picture coloured and it was like, oh, I love it, I must have it. So, you know, it's funny that sometimes, you know, you fall in love with a book later, but I really love this artist now, and I love the textured way that the illustrations are drawn. They're just so cute, and it's such a gorgeous little kitty cat book. So this is Dikke Dames, which means fat ladies in Dutch, but I prefer to call them Cuddly. And this is Julia Woning. She specialises in this Dikke Dames theme, and this is her one that reimagines famous paintings. So they're very simple lines, and they're in her Cuddly Lady style. But you can really do a lot with these images. And the great thing is that they're great for colourists that might have a minor visual impairment, because the lines are very crisp and there's lots of large open spaces in there. Now, to be honest, some of them I still can't figure out what the original source painting is, because they're in Julia's style, and it's quite a trick to it. So Beauty of Horror 2, this is Alan Roberts' second colouring book. And I don't really go for horror that much, but man, this book just stole my heart. You know, the artwork is just so good, and it's so interesting, and it's a great one to colour, you know, around Halloween and all of that, if you don't want to colour the traditional ones. And not everyone likes sweet little bunny rabbits and flowers, let's be honest, so, you know, these horror books are a great alternative. 2 books from Alan coming out this year. So this is the Dutch imprint of Zemlja Snova, the book by Tomislav Tomic. Now, the original Croatian colouring book is often quite expensive for people, so the Dutch imprint, you know, might be a little bit cheaper. I still haven't got around to reviewing this. This actually got lost in the mail and I had to get a replacement copy sent, and you know, by the time I got my replacement copy, you know, so many other books had come in that it just went to low on my list to review. But, you know, absolutely beautiful. And, you know, what I'll do now is I'll keep my original edition as an art book, and I'll colour in this Dutch imprint that was cheaper for me to get, just in case I make any mistakes, which I will. A gorgeous colouring book. So Zemlja Snova and Vilin San. So you're just seeing the Dutch imprint of Zemlja Snova. So you can see them sort of up against each other there. Zemlja Snova is slightly bigger than the Dutch imprint. So these are the originals, and in these originals of Zemlja Snova, there was actually a printing error in the first run. And this one actually has the printing error. I don't know if I can find it when I'm looking for it, but it was just too expensive to send back to Croatia to get a refund on it. So another reason why I'm glad that I've also got the Dutch edition. But absolutely detailed and beautiful artwork. Absolutely gorgeous. Now this is the follow-up, which is Vilin San. And as you can see, there's a bit of a difference in thickness, but they're the same price. So gorgeous illustrations here. Same style as Zemlja Snova. So they pair well together, it's the same theme. But, you know, it is expensive, depending on what your colouring budget is. Now, Vilin San does come with a fold-out poster at the end. Which, of course, I was having trouble finding. And there it is. The poster's not attached to the book. It's a loose fold-out poster, which is 4 pages big. So it is huge. Personally, I prefer the pages to be in the book, but that's just me. I just couldn't imagine doing something so big. I'd just be intimidated by that. But, you know, maybe one day. So this is the English imprint of Seasons by Hannah Calzone. The Swedish edition was Tidevarv, which is this one. So now that I've got the English one, I'm just going to keep the Swedish one as an art book. And I know some people find it weird that I refer to these as art books, but we're all different, and just because they say colouring book on it doesn't mean that I feel obliged to colour them in. Just like stamp collectors don't go and post their stamps off on envelopes, and coin collectors don't go and spend their coins. You know, for me, a lot of these books are art books. But if I get two and there's an English edition which always costs me less, then I'm more inclined to colour in the English edition and keep the original language edition as my art book. So this is Santa's Kitty Helpers. It's a Design Originals book. It's kind of the first time I've ever been disappointed with Design Originals, to be honest. And I did email them and never got a response, which disappointed me even further. And the reason I'm disappointed is that this book is exactly the same. And mind you, they changed their description on Amazon when I emailed them, but they could never be bothered replying to me, which I felt was very disrespectful to a customer. I didn't get it for free or anything. I actually paid for it. And, you know, I just thought that was plain rude to go in and change your description and then not email me back. But anyway, my main whine about this book is I love the art, don't get me wrong, but this book is exactly the same as her first book, which is Santa's Furry Helpers, except Santa's Furry Helpers has the Design Originals colour palettes, etc. And when I purchased this, it was never disclosed that it was the same book, just with a different cover. So I feel a bit gypped on that, and consequently my love of kitties faded. But, you know, I love the artwork, don't get me wrong. I just wish I'd bought the other one, and I wish their product description at the time had said, hey, you know, if you want the one with the colour palettes below, like Design Originals always do, then buy Santa's Furry Helpers, rather than market it in the way that they did when I purchased it. So this is Tomako Toshira's colouring book, and it's Jackie the Baker, and it's so different from her other colouring books, which are those really intricate princesses and fairies and fairy tales. This is like a cute fluffy teddy bear. So completely different from her other work, which can often be very intimidating because it's so finely detailed. And this is just so gorgeous. It's just, I couldn't believe it when I seen it, because I had to check a few times that this was, you know, Tomako's work, because her other stuff is so finely detailed. But you can see shades of her, you know, in this book with her small little flowers and whatnot, and these, you know, little beads and whatnot. But very different from her other fairy tales and princesses books and fantasy girls, etc. So it's a Japanese book. It's Jackie the Baker, or Baker Jackie, and the links to look at the full review are below. This is the Briar colouring book based on the artwork of Briar, and it's a stunner. Gorgeous illustrations. I mean, they really are stunning. Just beautiful. And every coloured piece that I see from this just looks gorgeous. And even better, at the front, got some coloured pictures. So absolutely stunning. Now these are the Spectrum Noir Colorista pads, and I was lucky enough that they sent them to me. I get questions all the time, like, how did I do the gold on these? They come pre-printed with the gold. And I had a lot of fun playing with these, and they'd look great if they were framed, because they've got that pre-printed gold on there. Now there's huge variety with these. So these ones got silver on them. You can get them in A4 size, you can get black backgrounds, you can get different themes. This is Butterfly Garden. You can get, there's a huge range, and you can get some for pencils and some for markers. Now, to be honest, I didn't really notice any difference. I totally ignored the instructions that this was for pencils, and I think I used markers on these. This one says pencils, but I'm pretty sure I used markers as well with no problems at all. Now, this is another Japanese colouring book. It's in the same series as a couple that we've seen earlier. And again, it's cute little animals, cute little scenes, simple little pictures that can look absolutely stunning when they're coloured in. And it's great for those that, you know, don't like too much detail, but they want a couple of pictures in there that will challenge them. So it's just an all-round fun colouring book. And of course, we've got to have a little cute squirrel there as well. This is a German colouring book. No, I bought it because I really liked this image on the front, but to be honest, it's not a favourite. I find it a little bit too disjointed for me. Don't really understand the theme of it. There's some lovely artwork in there, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I just don't understand the theme of it, to be honest. So there's adventure and some lovely pictures there. They really are lovely. And if I just had, you know, one colouring book that had a variety of pictures in it, then, you know, that would be a great choice. But as we all know, I don't have one colouring book. This is one of my favourite kitty cat colouring books. And look at these cats. Aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they absolutely beautiful? Him sitting out there in his garden at his flower shop, and look, some have got little tiger stripes, and they're in my colouring book library, getting up to cat mischief. They're so cute. Oh, I love this little book, it's just adorable. Isn't that one cute? And if you'll notice, the artist has actually put the text in English, which is great. Look at this kitty cat. Yeah, so absolutely gorgeous, and you know, especially if you love kitty cats. So this is probably one of the most expensive colouring books I've ever purchased, which is Eriy, which it wasn't so much the colouring book that was expensive, and it's not really a colouring book, it's actual pages. It was more the fact that I had to go to an anime convention and pay $90 for the tickets just to go in and buy it. But anyway, it's absolutely gorgeous artwork. It really is stunning. It's all printed on a card and lightweight cardstock. Absolutely gorgeous, detailed images. Each image has been stamped on the back, and that's the back design, even though that's gorgeous. Could be the front. So absolutely beautiful anime artwork. Now, she often doesn't sell from her shop. She, you know, so you have to sort of look around and keep checking with her, and if you can do a bulk order, she does bulk orders, so, you know, direct message her or something. You know, I bought it at a convention, so, you know, I just messaged her and said how many copies I wanted, and went to the convention and bought it, and she was amazing. So that's Min Monsters Eriy, and it's just gorgeous. This is Millie Morotto's Beautiful Birds and Treetop Treasures. Now, I do love Millie's artwork, but I've got to say I've got all of her books and I've never coloured in one of them. So I think the universe is telling me that maybe I'm not going to buy any more. I really love her artwork and I really appreciate it, but you know, for me, if I had a cuddly bunny, that'd probably be my choice. So it's absolutely gorgeous. If you're ever looking for inspirational pictures, I've got a Pinterest board of Millie Morotto's artwork that you can have a look at and maybe get inspired. So this is Nature, a seasonal colouring book by Flora Waycott. And it's got this great artwork, lovely black line art, really simple and easy to see. Reminds me a bit of Rita Berman's stuff, but bigger. So lots of cute pictures, a great one to practice on, and certainly great if you have a minor visual impairment. So here's another one from Creative Haven. It's out of this world, and it's got some lovely little designs in it, but they're quite cute, a lot of them, and they're great if you just, want to colour something in and just be stress-free. And as usual with Creative Haven, paper is perforated, so that makes it so much easier. And this is Marjorie Sarnet's Playful Puppies. And I do love me some Marjorie Sarnet, and I love puppies, so this is a match made in heaven. Now there's a companion book to this one, The Dazzling Dogs, as well. So we've got puppies and dogs. And her artwork is just stunning. I wish she actually did some colouring tutorials, because she's really good at colouring in as well. If she does colour those pictures, some artists get colourists to do them for them. I don't know. Are they cute? This is Fabiana Atanzio's Cinderella, and a lot of people had problems getting this colouring book, so what I would suggest is, if you want the pictures and not the story, then I suggest that you have a look for the Italian edition on Book Depository and get it that way. Now, if you did want the story to go along with the pictures, the English edition of this is really hard to get, so maybe check eBay. And I just don't understand why her books are so hard to get, to be honest. You think they'd do more print runs. So this is Hansel and Gretel. And again, sometimes people have problems getting this book, so again, check for the Italian edition on Book Depository, or, check eBay for an edition. But of course, the Italian edition is going to have the story in Italian, so if the story is important, that might not suit you. So this is Mermaids in Paradise, the second colouring book by Denise Klatt. And this has got the little piggy in it, and she took a lot of feedback from colourists when she created this book, which I thought she was very brave to do, because you end up with 500 different opinions and not sure where to start. But gorgeous colouring book, single-sided images, and very much in Denise's style. Now, I do have to say that my heart still belongs to Fairies in Dreamland, which was Denise's first book. I just love these little scrawny little fairies that are having a nap. I just think that concept is just absolutely adorable, that they're all so sleepy and they're falling asleep everywhere, They just can't keep their little eyes open. I just think it's gorgeous. Now, her third colouring book is coming out this year. It's called Gnomes in the Neighbourhood. And to be honest, gnomes, when she said that, I thought, I don't know. But now that I've seen some pictures coming out of it, I am so excited to see that. So this is another Dikke Dames from Julia Woning, Dutch artist. And this is her fairy tale colouring book in her Cuddly Ladies style. So these are just fabulous. The way she imagines these things in her cuddly way, with the anonymous faces on there, is just fantastic. And I did raise once, why the faces had no expressions, and she actually commented on my blog so that it didn't detract from the main image, which I thought was really kind of her to come along and explain the reasoning behind that. But gorgeous colouring book. So that's it for part 6 of my colouring book collection. I'll be back with part 7. Until next time, happy colouring.